Hey guys, it's Trina. I listen to a lot of audiobooks, like between last year and this year consistently. 40% of everything that I have read have been audiobooks. A lot of times when I talk about all the books that I read or listen to in my monthly reading wrap-ups, I will completely forget to mention that something I read I listened to an audiobook. So I am going to start this series of videos where I just have a place to sit down and talk about the audiobooks that I have listened to recently. I'm going to do these videos for every 5 audiobooks that I finish, just because I feel like 5 is kind of like a good number to cap it off at. And since this is the first video that I'm doing like this, give me a minute to just get kind of some of the introductory stuff out of the way, and then I will move into my actual reviews today. I do have 5 that I am reviewing today. So what I'm going to talk about in these reviews, I'm still going to be like reviewing the plot and the characters and the writing in my wrap-ups or my separate book reviews, but I wanted to have this space to talk specifically about the narration style of the books that I've listened to. Did I feel like the voice actors did a good or a bad job? Would I recommend listening to the audiobook or reading the print book? Because a lot of times, even when I listen to an audiobook, I get the print book out from the library too, so that I can either read along or see if there's any formatting differences. Sometimes an audiobook will have a lot of sound effects and music, which you're not going to get that in the experience if you read the print book, or the print book could have pictures or different types of formatting that you're not going to be able to hear in the audiobook. So if you want to know like my overall feelings and rating of these books, that stuff is going to be in my wrap-ups and reviews. These videos are really just going to be talking about the narration. And basically just, do I recommend listening to this audiobook if you have the choice? I will also give you like a brief summary of what each of these books is about in case you aren't familiar with them yet and this is like your first time ever hearing about it. I do want you to know what these books are about. And if there's anything that you guys specifically want to know about audiobooks, let me know that in the comments, because this is the first time I'm reviewing audiobooks specifically, and I don't exactly know everything that I should be covering yet, other than just like the narration and do I recommend it or not. And by the way, if anyone is wondering where I get my audiobooks from, I get them from my library. I just use the Overdrive app, which my library partners with, and I just download them onto my phone and listen to them on my phone. So if you're interested in getting more audiobooks, definitely check if your local library is linked up with Overdrive, because it is a great source for listening to audiobooks for free. Into the reviews for this video. The first book that I listened to this year has been The Midnight Star by Marie Lu. This is the 3rd book in the Young Elite series, and this is about a fantasy world in which an illness has swept through the land, and some of the people that survived the illness were given supernatural powers. Our main character has the power of illusion. She can make anybody hear and see whatever she wants them to, and she is kind of snatched up by this group of would-be heroes in the society, and she doesn't know if she wants to join forces with them because she really wants revenge for some of the things that this society has put her through. And as for the narration, this one is voiced by Carla, Corvo, and Lannon and Killea. You get 2 narrators, and I think that the voice actress that voiced Adelina did an exceptional job with bringing emotion into this story. I think the other voice actor was just kind of standard audiobook narration. Nothing stood out to me, good or bad, but the one that did Adelina brought a lot of emotion to the story. It really made me feel for Adelina, and it just sucked me into this story and made it very real. So this is the 3rd book in the series. I also listened to the 2nd one on audio, and it was the same narrators, but the 1st book I read the print copy, and I didn't get that emotional side to the character of Adelina. But in the audiobooks of this series, I really thought that Carla Corvo brought a lot of emotion to Adelina's character, and it made me enjoy it that much more. That might be a format that you prefer for this series if you're having trouble connecting with Adelina, because she is a hard character. She's very cold. She's a villain. So if you are having trouble understanding her motivations and seeing her as human, then maybe check out the audiobooks for this one. Next, I listened to 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. This is the story following a boy who has received a package full of 13 cassette tapes. And these cassette tapes were made by this girl from his class that recently committed suicide, and she has made these tapes to send on to 13 people that impacted her life in some way, either good or bad ways, and he's one of the people that has received the tapes. They are essentially her suicide note. This audiobook was narrated by Johnstone and Debra Wiseman. The audio format fits this story so well, because when our main character Clay presses play on the tapes, you hear Hannah start narrating as if she's making the tapes. So that voice actress takes over. And again, this is a voice actress that did a great job with bringing the emotion to Hannah's character. You can really feel her pain, and you really got inside of her head. I think that the voice actor who voiced Clay, he did a pretty good job of that emotional experience too. I really thought that the voice actors both brought this story to life. Not to mention the audio format suits the story so well. Like, if you have the option to choose the audio format over the print book, I would definitely recommend the audio on this one. Next, I listened to Sleeping Giants by Sylvain Neuvel. This is an adult science fiction novel about these objects that have been found buried all around the world, and when they're put together, people realize that these are building a large statue of a humanoid figure, but it's not quite human. And so we're following a group of scientists and researchers and military people who are trying to figure out what is this statue and who buried this all around the world and what does it do. This audiobook is narrated by a full cast. I actually could not find the full list of credits online. So you have a different voice actor for every single character in this book. It is told through interviews and personal diary entries of the people that are involved in this. It is all dialogue, which suits the audio format very well because you're just listening to what these people are saying. And as far as the formatting, you aren't missing out on anything. The only special formatting in this book are for the interviews. You have like the interviewer's question is in bold and then the answer is in regular font. So like it's just dialogue back and forth. So this is a story that I think was just a really great experience on audio, and I would recommend this format. This one wasn't as emotional of a story, but the voice actors did really embody their characters and their personalities. It's just really entertaining to listen to, so yeah, I would definitely recommend this audiobook. Next, I listened to Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson, and this one is narrated by the author herself. This is her own memoir of growing up as an African-American child in America in the 60s and 70s, which was a time of the civil rights movement and a lot of discrimination, and she talks about just her childhood growing up with that, the differences between the American North and the South at the time, but more than that, this is a story of her family and her learning that she really wanted to be a writer. This book is told in verse, so if you do listen to the audiobook, you are going to miss out on the style of it. I actually don't really get along well with books told in verse because my brain will get caught up on trying to make things rhyme or trying to figure out the rhythm, which is the reason why I opted for the audiobook with this one, and also because it was narrated by the author herself, and I thought I'll just listen to her say it the way she intended to say it. However, I will say that if you love books in verse, I would just opt for the print copy because you do kind of lose that stylistic flow to it. The only other format difference in this book is that in the back she does include some photos of her family and the people that are mentioned in this book. Those are just some things to know for you guys. I did enjoy listening to this one myself. The last audiobook I'm reviewing in this video is Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire, and this audiobook was narrated by Cynthia Hopkins. This book is about kids who have found doorways to other realms, and they've lived there for a while, and then suddenly they've been thrust back into the real world. No one believes where they've been, so they're all like shipped off to this boarding school that pretends as if it's a place to help these children cope with reality, because that's not real. But when the kids get there, it's like, no, all the teachers and the staff are like, yeah, those fairy worlds are real. We gotta find a way to get back to them. And within that setup of the world, there is like a murder mystery that starts happening at this school as soon as our main character arrives there. As for the narration of this one, I thought that the narrator, Cynthia Hopkins, did a wonderful job, and I thought that she distinguished the different character voices very well. It's a very atmospheric thing to listen to, and I really loved that. So I would recommend the audio for this one, definitely. So those are the first 5 audiobooks that I have listened to this year. I have already finished a couple more, but I'm just going to include those in the next video so that this one doesn't get too long. And I will say that although I liked the narration of all the books in this video, next time I didn't like some of them, so you will get more of a mix. It's not like I just love every audiobook that I listen to. And I do think that I would like to make a video for like my all-time favorite audiobooks, things that I have listened to, like not just this year but last year and the year before that I haven't had a chance to really talk about and recommend. So if that's something that you guys want to see, definitely let me know that below and I will work on that video, just an overall audiobooks recommendations. Hope that this video has been helpful to you guys. If it has been, let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the comments. Bye!